All right. So my case study is on dwarfism. Um, the version of dwarfism that I learned about as I interviewed my friend Sammy is achondroplasia, which is the most common form of dwarfism, but there are many different types. So this can be pretty general for all of them. My presentation can, but the one that I specifically learned about is achondroplasia. So, what is dwarfism? It is something that causes somebody to be considerably shorter than the average sized person. So, something I did not realize is that you can be considered a dwarf if you are 4 foot 10 inches or shorter. So, you don't have to specifically be diagnosed with dwarfism to be considered a dwarf. You just have to reach that height or shorter. Something neat that I learned as well is that dwarfism's color is green, and they have a Dwarfism Awareness Month, which is October. So dwarfism is actually very rare. I also did not realize this. I thought that it was a lot more common than it is, but as you can see, dwarfism only affects about 1 in 10,000 people. And I thought that quote was very cute. Be aware that you are rare. So my friend Sammy, I met her when I was cleaning the temple as a custodian, and she was a service missionary the first time I met her. And she wanted to serve the Lord, but because of some of her medical um, conditions, she was not able to go into the field in full-time proselyte, so she decided she wanted to do a service mission. Um, I thought she would be an awesome person to interview because she's very kind and we're good friends. So she was very excited to do this interview with me. She is the only person in her family who has dwarfism. None of her parents or siblings have it. Her boyfriend that she's currently dating and planning to marry, spoiler alert, he is also he has also been diagnosed with dwarfism. And he also is the only one in his family. His parents and his siblings all do not have dwarfism. I asked Sammy what some of the things in school were hard for her, and she said that school was hard only because of um, some bullying and people staring at her, and she felt a little excluded due to her height difference. But she did not feel that she struggled with school. Learning wise, she did perfectly fine in her education. Um, but making friends was a little bit harder. Something else that doesn't really have much to do with her dwarfism is that she mentioned she moved a lot when she was younger, and that was hard for her. But the hardest part was, again, that people saw her as different, so it was hard for her to make friends until they got to know her personality and knew that she was an awesome person and her height didn't matter. And I thought that this picture down in the middle was cute. It's just a bunch of people, and this boy here, he's quite a bit smaller than the rest of them. It just kind of shows that, like, although a person may have dwarfism, they're not much different than the rest of us other than their height and a few other things that make life hard because of their height. So, as I learned about the different difficulties people have who have dwarfism, some things that were mentioned are that they may need extra time getting to classes because it be, it takes a while due to their shorter legs for them to walk around. Um, Sammy, I've noticed that with her as well. She likes to um, take the elevator instead of the stairs when we're cleaning the temple, and she also prefers not to vacuum just because it does take her a while. Some other things that may be issues or just how high certain things are. So step stools or other adaptations can be made for these people in their classrooms. As teachers, we can do that for them. But the thing that I bolded is that social issues may require classroom management and respectful treatment from peers and teachers. So, what I noticed as I interviewed Sammy was that the biggest problems were just how people treated her because she was different. And the best thing that we can learn as teachers is to find these people who need us and um, find ways to make sure they're included and teach other children how to include them. But again, I just wanted to point out this picture over here is a popular TV series called Little People Big World. It's about this family, and the parents both have dwarfism, but as it says up here, many little people go to school, have careers, marry, and raise kids just like average sized people. So, dwarfism may have some um, things that affect their life, such as not being able to reach things and being a little bit slower as they walk. But other than that, they can live pretty normal lives. So, the things that I learned, I did not know that dwarfism doesn't affect learning ability, and that really the only difference is that a lot of people with dwarfism has it is their height. I thought that there were other health issues and things associated with dwarfism, which there can be, but a lot of times it's just their height differences. Um, as a teacher, I want to look out for those who are being treated differently for any reason, whether they are um, just they are in poverty or they have other issues. Um, it doesn't really matter to me what that is that makes them different. I want to make sure I can help them feel included and loved. And um, I just wanted to point out that as I interviewed Sammy, she said her favorite year was her eighth grade year, and it was because of a teacher that she had who always made sure she had a friend, even if it was just the teacher that was her friend. So I really liked hearing about that. The last thing that I added was that I want to be really good about teaching students the goodness of diversity, why it's important, and um, how they can learn from people who are different from them. And as students are around those who are different, they will go into life from their younger years forward, just noticing these people as equals and loving them no matter what. So I really liked the quote over here by Dr. Seuss, a person's a person no matter how small, and that can apply to anyone, no matter who they are, they're a person and they should be loved. And that is about all. These are my sources. Thank you for listening. Let me know if you have any questions.